Chapter 8. We stood beneath the storm's throat, our flashlights cutting narrow paths through the sheets of rain. Above us waited the thing we had chased for nights, the tormentor, the Phenoveros. It crouched on the rooftop, half hidden by the downpour. Its head tilted slowly, studying us. From the hollow beneath it, thin tendrils swayed, tasting something unseen in the air. Then the pressure came, not sound, not thought, a vibration deep between my ears, tightening until it filled my skull. It wasn't a voice, but the shape of one, forcing meaning into my mind. The storm fell away. I was seeing a vision. It wasn't a memory. This isn't mine. It's being projected into me. I was standing in sunlight. A field stretched to the horizon, the air warm and still. A house stood ahead, white walls, an open door. And I saw her, Brenda, my darling. She waited in the doorway, smiling. Behind her, a child ran across the grass, laughing, small arms reaching for her. In a second, I believed it. I could almost feel the warmth, smell the air, hear her breath. Then her smile faltered. Her eyes changed, warning me not to come closer. The sky dimmed, the walls bled shadow, the grass withered, the air turned heavy and foul. Something else was there. It wasn't showing me comfort. It was digging through my head, tearing out what hurt most. The dreamy vision was bait. My fear, my trauma were the meal. Then, an unearthly voice echoed, promising me peace. It told me to surrender the child, that it would give me my family back. If I refused, it would take everything instead. It would force itself upon the world and kill everyone. It said that just like its every slave, their wishes were granted. Ellis, the priest who had lost his faith, had renewed it and embraced Cosmos and his eternal love. To submit, and my wish would be granted. And submit, I did not. Then the world shifted again. Now I was back at City Hall, years ago. The riot. There was smoke and gunfire, bodies pressed against barricades, the sound of panic rising like a tide. Brenda. She was there in the crowd, pregnant, clutching her stomach, trying to move against the crush. I tried to reach her, but my body wouldn't move. My legs were locked. The world narrowed to noise and distance. Then the gunfire cut the air, and she went down. I tried to shout her name, but no sound came out. The world froze in silence. The ground I stood started to soften and dragging me down like a quicksand. The Phenoveros fed on the moment, pulling at it, devouring the guilt and the helplessness. Every memory it touched became pain sharpened to a point, but somewhere in the wreckage of thought, something refused to break. Her face stayed. The last look before she fell. Strength, refusal, the will to endure. Pain flared across my neck, hot and bright. A voice pressed into my mind, not spoken but felt. Obey and submit, for defiance was sin, and fear God and his wrath, for fear was faith. Then, suddenly, the illusion shattered. Light collapsed. The riot vanished. I was back on the street, kneeling in the rain, lungs burning. The storm crashed around me again. Johnry's hands gripped my shoulders, steadying me, pulling me back into the noise of the world. The Phenoveros still watched from above. Its tendrils froze mid-motion, all of them aligned toward us, as if it had chosen its next move. Then, the windows above us burst. A body dropped through the storm. It struck the pavement with a hollow crack. The woman who had called us murderers lay broken at our feet. Her skull was split, blood spreading thin in the runoff. Then her body moved. No breath, no pulse, just vibration. A sound crawled out of her throat, words forced through dead flesh. Every sin had been counted. The will of God was fear. His wrath was near, and it's tonight. Her eyes were white from burning red, her skin drained of color. The sound died with the last echo of her voice. When I looked up, the rooftop was empty. The Finavoros was gone. Only the rain remained, and the sobbing of the husband above, a sound swallowed by thunder. Then, out of nowhere, movement caught our attention. A shape, like a silhouette of a person with glowing eyes, advanced through the fog, fast, vicious. We raised our weapons and ordered it to stop, but it didn't, so we opened fire. Gunfire tore through the rain. The body fell face first onto the wet pavement, skidding and rolling like a rag doll before finally coming to a halt. For a breath, it was over, or so we thought. In the blink of an eye, another body dropped. The husband. The loud crack of his bones when he hit the pavement didn't stop him from being dead. He rose without a sound. His eyes were burning embers. His face was blank, his expression hollow, his movements precise. He lunged at the officer beside Johnry and tore through the man's throat in a single, brutal motion. Blood mixed with the rain. Bullets cut him down, but more shapes appeared. 5, maybe 6, emerging from the side streets, moving toward us through the water. More shadows, with the same red glowing eyes, followed from every direction, drifting out of the alleys in the storm. It wasn't possible. The Finavoros could only control one host at a time. Maybe it wasn't breaking its rules. Maybe we were just stepping into the part of creation where the rules no longer mattered. Maybe it was reaching for something it was never meant to have, a will of its own, a defiance to his existence, just to finish its task and drag us to our knees before its God. The city had become its host. We reloaded in silence, pretending control still belonged to us. But MAKATI was no longer a city. It was now a body, and the monster was inside its blood.